Welcome back, Body by Vlad Show, episode 9, part 3. My name is John Robert Quinn, the guy who builds talk shows coast to coast. And of course, I'm hanging out with Mr. Vlad Telaluyev from Body by Vlad. And we are talking about getting in our own way, reducing our results when it comes to losing weight, building muscle mass, becoming healthier, and just getting our heads right. I think the biggest thing people don't realize is that they want to lose weight, but their head isn't right, right? They want to become successful, but their head isn't right. They want to get rich, but their head isn't right. They want to raise kids, but their head isn't right. They want to be a Republican, but they're a Democrat. We're going to leave that one alone. But am I right in that sense that people, they go into the gym, but they think they know everything?
Their mindset is so important because when they're going to go into the gym, they feel like they've tried everything, and then, you know, once we start doing the program and they get the results, they're like, wait a minute, I'm getting results? Like, they're still like in that phase of I'm still fat, but they're not. And it's like, and it happens so fast that they're just like,
is that why people start getting into the whole anorexia thing? And
well, that's where I'm going with it. For a woman, as she goes like that, she's never skinny enough now. And she always thinks that she's 1,000 pounds heavier and she feels like super big and mentally, but physically she's not. So mentally she's still that size. So she still feels 180 pounds, but she's 130. Do you see what I mean? So
I still feel skinny. Am I really that fat? Am I a fat guy?
No.
Just tell me.
You're chubby. You're
chubby.
You're chubby. Yeah, fat is different. You know, fat is like 100 pounds overweight, and you know that's big.
Well, Dad's 145, 150, and I'm like 240.
Yeah, your dad's pretty lean.
He's pretty lean.
He's pretty lean.
He's scrawny, is what he is.
Scrawny.
He's a skinny little guy, wearing his 29 jeans.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, it's skinny.
Yeah, so you know, the mental game is mindset is everything. But I feel like the weight loss. I feel like a lot of people get lost in, like, what happens next? Like, what do I? And I'm like, I just gotta calm them down. Like, hey, listen, just keep going. Like,
is this why people become bodybuilders?
That's what I was. The first segment we talked about is for a guy when he starts working out, he's fine before he starts working out. When he hits the gym and he sees everybody else around him and he's not growing fast enough, he feels like he's behind and below everybody else. So he's like, what do I got to do to grow faster? Anything, right? So that's why a lot of guys will be like, I'll take steroids. But the funny thing is they don't know how to take steroids. And then you'll see them walking around with these huge shoulders and traps like this, but their arms are skinny. They're just like, and you're like,
or the guys who inject. You see that video of the dude injects, his legs are like these little sticks.
So you know what I mean? Like, the funny thing is like they'll keep training their arms and chest and back, but they don't hit legs. And I'm like,
you missed leg day like 400 days in a row.
What are we training today? Arms. What are we training tomorrow? Chest and back. You know, and it's just like, you know,
Wednesdays are leg days, and that's the day that they're going to take the day off.
And that's what I realized is I've come to terms like I'm only going to get as big as I can naturally, and the next level would be steroids, right?
So I think that for me, I want to lose some of the belly. My chest and my arms, I think, are as big as I would ever want them to be. But I think my biggest flaw is my stomach.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to. But my problem is I eat too much breakfast cereal.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't even work out. Fix your diet first. Okay. I had a new client. She came into me. She dropped 50 pounds in like 4 or 5 months, you know, just by diet. But now she's like, well, now I'm just flabby and I want to tone up. Okay, that's fine, but you did a good job.
We got started.
You got
that's
really
the
good
mindset.
Head start.
Yeah.
You know, you changed your diet and you lost weight. That's it. She's just like, I did this, and this, and I was just
so
if
I cut out sodas, if I start with just soda, do you think I'll see an improvement?
Just soda, yeah. Well, each soda has like what, 40 grams of sugar?
I don't know. I drink like 5 of them a day. Do
you really?
Yeah. Like, no joke. I've already had 3 today.
God.
Yeah, no, there's one somewhere. Oh, it's gone. I've already had 3 today. I think she threw it away when she knew you were coming over. Yeah. I told her not to bring soda in the house anymore, though. I only want water in the house.
Yeah, no, just by eliminating the sugar. I'm telling you, it's huge. It's a huge thing. You know, the sugar, it spikes your insulin, and what happens is your body takes those little simple sugars and it stores it as fat right away.
So is that where is that where diabetes comes in?
Diabetes is just constant spiking of the insulin with these simple sugars, and over a long period of time, a compound effect happens, and you don't develop diabetes from drinking a soda for a year or two. It happens over 5 years, and then what happens is those people that have kids, their kids are pre-diabetic already based on the genetics from their parents because their genetics are weaker. It's just like you take a weak person and they have kids, their kids are probably going to be weak, and then that generation is going to be weak. So.
Oh boy, that's why we have so many Democrats. Oh, man. That explains so much. That explains the straws. That explains why the crying rooms when Hillary didn't get... It explains it, right? Am I wrong? I shouldn't be talking about this.
Politics.
So explain to me the importance of proper diet.
Yeah, so the diet part, when we talk about individualized approach, proteins, carbohydrates, fats, lipids, phytonutrients, antioxidants, all those different things. Basically, you want to be focusing on the macronutrients as well as the micros. Macronutrients are how much protein are you eating. So for how much do you weigh?
240.
240, right? So let's say how much body fat percentage do you have if we take
40.
your body fat? 40, right? Probably, right? Yeah, who knows? Yeah. So we multiply 240 by 40%, right? And then we take your skeletal mass and your organs and everything like that, and then we say, okay, you don't need to eat 240 grams of protein because you're going to be like, oh, I weigh 240 pounds, I need 240 grams. But the people don't realize is you don't have 240 pounds of muscle. Does that make sense? You don't need a gram per you need a gram per how much muscle you have to support that, and then just a little more. So if you have if you weigh 240 pounds, you might have 170 pounds of muscle on you. So now if you start working out, start with 170 grams, and as you progress through your workout, you got to slowly increase the amount of protein, and then that will change how much carbs and fat you're eating. So you change those two, right? And then how much carbohydrates you're eating per day. And then when you're working out, the timing of the workouts, carbohydrate timings. I mean, it's all a science.
It's a science, yes.
Of when you're placing your food, because your body's going to respond differently of how you, like if I wake up in the morning and I have Cheerios and a soda, your insulin is going to spike up.